Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to share my personal stories to illustrate the power of education. My dad was born in a poor village. He grew up in a two-bedroom home with his 6 siblings. When he was young, he walked many miles to school. After school, he had to work on the farm to help the family. The family meals were usually soup with a few potatoes in it. There was no meat. Despite all the hardship, my dad spent every free minute studying. The year he graduated from high school, there were only 3 kids in the whole village who got accepted by universities. Not only my dad was one of them, but also he went to the best business university in all of China. He got a good job and traveled many parts in the world on business. Education transformed my dad's life. Education also transformed my life as well. I was luckier than my dad. I was born in a big city. I grew up in one of the best neighborhoods in the city, surrounded by all the best schools. I went to the best elementary school and one of the best high schools. The high school system produced one of the most famous prime ministers in China. Although China was poor at that time, I always had enough to eat and enjoyed the fun time with other kids. My dad put me on his lap and taught me English when I started to speak. I enjoyed teaching kids math, and I always want to sit in and listen. I was always the cream of the crop in school. I was the class president when I was in high school, managing 54 students. When I was 21 years old, I went to Canada to pursue higher education. My life changed dramatically. I was seriously financially stressed. Every day, I was thinking how to cut expenses and pay for school. I went to the school's financial assistance office 5 times just to get 1 semester's bursary. I talked with the senior couple for half an hour just to convince them to rent me a room with low price. I didn't have money to purchase textbooks, so I borrowed from library and read it for 1 hour. After 1 hour, I had to return it. If no other students borrowed it, I would borrow it again to do my homework. I had to use the second language to listen to lectures and comprehend the complex topics. I knew nothing about Canadian culture. I didn't know how to take a bus, and the educational system was different. Despite all the obstacles, I determined to be successful in the foreign country. I put myself in one of the top 10 universities in Canada. I put myself in one of the most difficult subjects in university, computer science. I got my first job in a Fortune 100 company. When other employees left at 5:30, I was there still working. I even go to work on the weekend because I really want to make my project brilliant. I participated in company-wide discussions enthusiastically. My boss commented, "Helen can see the big picture, which is rare among developers." In another job that I worked for 4 years, I didn't take a vacation, and the company management had to set me down and convince me to take a vacation. I sponsored my parents and my brother to Canada. I arranged basic living for my family. I was able to travel to Paris, Hawaii, and Hong Kong on vacation. It is education that changed my life. Today, there are still a lot of poor villages in the world. Parents with 3 or 4 kids live in the same room. There is no electricity and no one can read after dark. The villagers had to do heavy labor work without solid food to eat. We need to convince the kids that they can gain knowledge and skills to transform their lives for the better, and the sky is the limit. If the kids believe that, they will be self-motivated and do whatever necessary to change their life for the better with 100% energy and enthusiasm. Let's all do our share to end poverty through education. Thank you.